All right, hello. Welcome to Trivia Night. My name is Phoebe and I am your host for the evening. Before we get started, I do want to make sure that everyone gets here before I get too far into my spiel. But before I say anything else, thank you to the Fountaindale Public Library for hosting this Trivia Night. If you're not aware yet, tonight's theme is Parks and Recreation Trivia. So, you still have some time to Google some things if you want to, get the edge over everyone else. You want to make sure you know those tough to answer questions. However, it shouldn't be too tricky because we do have multiple choice on everything tonight. So, should be fairly simple. But again, don't want to get started too quickly before everyone's in. Let me see right now. It looks like we have 2 players signed up right now, so definitely want to make sure we have a good amount of folks in before we get started. So I will go ahead and just in case, since there aren't too many people in right yet, I do want to make sure that everyone has the link to play trivia. So let me go ahead and copy that. Alright, so if you do not have the link to play trivia, I just pasted it in the chat. So that would be crowd.live, L-I-V-E, /5922A, and that's just today's date and the letter A. So pretty simple URL, not too tricky to deal with, but that will get you into the game. Make sure that you are all signed in there because that's where you're going to answer. You can't answer for credit in the YouTube comments. If you want to play along for fun, I suppose you could, but it's a lot more fun in the actual platform, so I highly recommend going in and signing up. If you want to use a fun team name, there is still plenty of time to do that. All you're going to want to do is when you go to that link to sign up, just where it asks for a name, put in the team name that you want to use. So, if you've already put in your name and you want to use a fun team name, just refresh that page where you entered in your team name, and that should let you change your team name. Just make sure that you do that now, because if you do it later, it'll reset all of your points, so be careful doing that. Okay, we're not going to get started for at least another 5 to 10 minutes, so if you do know some folks who are straggling, still want to join, please go ahead and let them know that they still have plenty of time to join in. If you are already in, you now have time to get some snacks, get a drink, whatever you need to make this a fun experience for you. So please feel free to go ahead and get that for yourself. Again, we're not going to get started for just a little bit here, so want to make sure that we have as many folks as possible in the room before we do get started. If you do hear my cat in the background, I apologize. She she likes to participate in the conversation. She's very excited to be here. You may see her run behind me through this hallway here at some point, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks so much to those who have joined in so far. Welcome. Again, my name is Phoebe, and today we're playing Parks and Recreation Trivia. Have to thank the Fountaindale Public Library for hosting this trivia night. It's a Monday, so not a whole lot else going on. Nice of them to host the trivia night for everyone. If you haven't played trivia online before, don't worry. It's pretty easy to pick it up. So you should figure things out in no time. Don't be nervous. You got this. So that does make the questions a little bit easier. And again, I don't want to get into too much detail with that until we have a few more folks here. But if anyone's a Parks and Recreation fan, get excited. We do have some great questions coming up. All Parks and Rec themed, as I mentioned. One of my favorite sitcoms, for sure. So the way I can get into a little bit of this and then I can cover it again once more folks show up. But the way that online trivia works with our system is that you do have multiple choice. So you get 25 seconds to answer each question, and as your timer ticks down from 25 seconds to 0, you will have that 25 seconds to choose A, B, C, or D. The more quickly you answer the question, the more points possible for you. So, if you answer right at the top of the question, you get 150 points. If you answer towards the end, it might only be a few points. So try to get those answers in as quickly as you can. Even if you're not sure what the answer is, answering more quickly will give you a better chance at getting more points. Even if you're not sure, go ahead and guess, because on the chance that you're right, you will get the potential for more points. We will be looking at the standings about every 5 questions or so, time pending, but we have 30 questions tonight, so I think we should be able to do that. We also have a practice question on the docket, so again, if you've never played online trivia, or even if you've never played trivia period, that should help you get used to how the system works. It's pretty simple. All right. Let me see. Yeah, we got 2 people in still. So again, if you folks know anybody else who wants to play, please feel free to let them know that trivia is happening in just a few minutes here. I'm excited to get started. If anyone is watching the YouTube chat, feel free to let me know who some of your characters are. Maybe what you did this weekend, if you did anything fun for Mother's Day. But yeah, we're going to get started in just a bit here. And if anyone has any questions for me about how the game works or just how to play, please feel free to let me know in the chat. If you do run into any issues throughout the course of the game, just refresh the page and usually that takes care of most issues that pop up. Again, it is Parks and Recreation themed trivia tonight, which I think is a very fun theme, one of my favorite shows, so excited to go over some trivia from the show with you all. Even if you're not super familiar with the show, I think there's some fun facts to learn, and I do think it's a fun show to dive into at any point in time, because I do think it has some great longevity. Very fun show. We're going to get started in a few minutes here. You have time to grab some snacks or a drink if you need that. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. Again, my name is Phoebe. Yeah, again, apologies if you can hear my cat at any point. She loves to try to chime in and answer the questions. And if anyone runs into any issues or has questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Some pro tips for everyone. Make sure that whatever device you're answering on, that you don't have a lot of other tabs or applications open. That will make sure that everything loads quickly and that you'll be able to answer as soon as possible and won't run into many errors. So highly recommend doing that. In addition, when the next question is up, whenever it's time to answer, make sure that you are not in another application or in another tab, because I will read off the question and then immediately open it up for answering. So once I open it up for answering, you want to make sure that you are ready to answer. So keep your eyes on that screen that you're answering in, and that should make things a lot easier. Right. Still got 2 folks, so I might wait just another few minutes or so to see if anyone else pops up. But if not, it'll be a very hotly contested trivia night with the 2 of you. But we will see. Should be some fun Parks and Rec questions for you guys. If you have any friends you know who want to play, feel free to send them an invite to join in to Parks and Rec trivia. And again, if anyone's in the YouTube chat, feel free to let me know if you have questions. Let me know your favorite character, maybe how your weekend was. Happy to just chat with you guys while we see what other folks show up. But If not, then we'll get started in just a few minutes. Don't want to wait too long for other folks to join, but I know I did start about a minute late, so hopefully that didn't deter anyone. Something else that I can note is that there's a little bit of a lag with YouTube, so unfortunately there's nothing that I can do personally to fix this, but what you can do is, like I said earlier, make sure you're keeping an eye on whatever device that you're playing on, because the lag on YouTube will be such that it's about 2 to 5 seconds. It varies depending on your internet connection, but there will be a little bit of time between when I say something live in person and when the YouTube streams it to you. So when I say time starts now, it's probably already started on your device. So extra important to make sure that you're keeping an eye on when questions start so that you are not left behind to get the most points possible. But yeah, gonna give it just a few more minutes to make sure everyone's in. I hope everyone's been having a good week so far. I hope that you both are enjoying. If you're in the Chicago area, I hope you're enjoying the nice weather. Even if you're not, I hope there's nice weather where you're at. I know it's been very nice to have some sunny skies in Chicago, and it's going to be even nicer weather this week, so very excited for that. I'm pretty sure Fountaindale Public Library is in the suburbs of Chicago, so I think you also experienced some great weather, so very exciting. Again, just going to give it a few more minutes to see whether any other folks show up. Just in case you're away from the computer, there are 31 questions total tonight. 30 are Parks and Rec related, and then 1 is a practice question. So if you've never played online trivia, that'll get you used to how it's going to work. So should be pretty easy, but you know, hopefully it's a lot of fun too. But like I said, if it's just the two of you, it might make for some hotly contested competition. So gonna give it until about 7:15 and then we can get started. But thank you for being here. I love Parks and Rec, so I'm still excited to talk it over, even if there aren't too many folks who are watching and playing. I think it'll still be fun. If you don't have a favorite Parks and Rec character, maybe you have another favorite sitcom or other favorite shows that you like to watch. I know for me, I have a lot of favorite shows that I like to watch. I loved Moon Knight on Disney Plus. Always loved rewatching Ted Lasso. There's a lot of good TV out there, so it's hard to kind of stay in the know about all of it, I think anyway. Well, thank you again to the Fountaindale Public Library for hosting trivia tonight. My name is Phoebe, and I am the one hosting trivia tonight. But you know what? Let's just go ahead and get started with just the few of you. I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen over. Sorry you see behind the curtain a little bit there, but you should now see the question screen. So I'm going to go ahead and start this game. So, as I mentioned, there is a practice question, and that's just what my name is. So here's how each of these are going to work. I will read off the question, and then I will open it up for answering. You will then see all 4 possible answers and click the one that you think is the right answer. You only have 25 seconds to answer, and you can't change your answer, so be decisive with your clicking. So again, 4 possible multiple choices. You get 150 points to start and 25 seconds, and as that time slowly ticks down, so does your points possible. So the more quickly you answer, the more points you get. However, this first question is just for practice. You won't get any points for it. So let's see how you do. I've said this a few times what my name is, so let's go ahead and start the timer. Is my name April, Anne, Leslie, or Phoebe? What do you think? What is my name? Is it April, Anne, Leslie, or Phoebe? Of course, a few of these are character names from the show, but one of them I don't think is. Alright, we've got one vote in. Alright, so one of you said Phoebe, and you are 100% correct. That is indeed my name, so well done to you. If the other person is away from their computer, go ahead and come on back. We're going to get started in just a bit. Alrighty. I'm seeing if any other folks want to play just so we can make this a little bit more competitive. But for now, here's question number 2. This question is actually about Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is set in the fictional town of Pawnee, which is located in what real U.S. state? So again, what real U.S. state is Parks and Rec set in Pawnee what? Time starts now. Is it Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, or Ohio? Which do you think? Again, Parks and Rec is set in the fictional town of Pawnee. Where is that located? What do you think? All right. You said Indiana, and you are 100% correct, so well done. Got some points for you there. Alrighty, question number 3. Where does Tammy number 1 work? Again, we're looking for the place that Tammy number 1 works. So think about the difference between Tammy 1 and any other potential Tammys. Your time starts now. Is it the IRS, the library, the bank, or the strip club? Again, we're looking for where Tammy 1 works. What do you think? All right, that is time. All right, you said it's the library, but the correct answer is the IRS. Tammy number 2 works at the library. So there you go. Tammy number 1 was auditing Ron in that, I think that's the beginning of season 3. All right, question number 4. What is the name of April and Andy's 3-legged dog? Again, we're looking for the name of April and Andy's 3-legged dog. Such a good boy. Time starts now. Is their dog named Stella, Spunky, Champion, or Petey? Again, just looking for the name of April and Andy's 3-legged dog. To the one person answering, I think this might just be you and me. All right, let's see how you did. You said Champion, and you are 100% correct in that their dog's name is Champion. Well done there. You got all the points possible for that. So question number 5. April once scheduled 93 meetings for Ron on what date because she thought it didn't exist? Again, April once scheduled 93 meetings for Ron on what date because she thought that it didn't exist? Your time starts now. Is it February 29th, April 31st, March 31st, or December 31st? What do you think? Again, April once scheduled 93 meetings for Ron on what date because she thought it didn't exist? Was that February 29th, April 31st, March 31st, or December 31st? All right. You said March 31st, and that is correct. March 31st very much does exist. So Ron had 93 meetings. All right, we're going to do question number 6. And then I can show you how many points you have. But if it gets to be 7:30 and we still don't have any other folks, might just call it. unless you do want to play the whole round of trivia. If you want, let me know in the YouTube chat, and I'm happy to just do the whole round for you. But for now, question number 6. What former presidential candidate did Leslie encounter in the Hay Adams Hotel in the episode Miss Nope Goes to Washington? Is that Al Gore, John McCain, Mitt Romney, or Hillary Clinton? Oh, let me start that timer for you. I apologize. So again, we're looking for the former presidential candidate that Leslie encounters in the Hay Adams Hotel in the episode Miss Nope Goes to Washington. Is that Al Gore, John McCain, Mitt Romney, or Hillary Clinton? Which of these former presidential candidates does she encounter? All right, let's see. You said Hillary Clinton, but it is John McCain, actually. So, there's a fun fact for you. If you don't remember that episode, it is John McCain that she runs into. So, I will show you the leaderboard just as a, here's how you're doing, Brianna. So, Brianna, thanks for playing trivia with me. You currently have 411 points. And again, unless you want me to do the whole round of trivia, we'll probably stop at around 7:30 if no other folks show up. But again, if you'd rather play every question, I'm more than happy to read all of them for you. Just let me know in the YouTube chat. All right, question number 7. What is the name of Annabelle Porter's internet lifestyle magazine that promotes Ron's handmade chairs as a trend in recall vote? Again, what is the name of Annabelle Porter's internet lifestyle magazine that promotes Ron's handmade chairs as a trend in recall vote? Your time starts now. Is that Whoosh, Rent-A-Swag, Bloosh, or Entertainment 720? And I do think 3 of these are real companies in Parks and Rec. The other one I'm pretty sure is not. Is it Whoosh, Rent-A-Swag, Bloosh, or Entertainment 720? Or E720, as more fondly known. All right. You said Bloosh, and you are 100% correct. That is the right answer here, so well done. Okay, you said 7:30 is fine. Cool. Well, thanks anyway for playing with me, Brianna. All right, question number 8 for you. What board game does Ben insist on playing as part of his stag night before Chris insists that each of the attendees names and act out their own fantasy stag night activity? So again, what board game does Ben insist on playing as part of his stag night before Chris insists that each of the attendees names and acts out their own fantasy stag night activity? So, time starts now. Were they playing Axis and Allies, Cones of Dunshire, Dungeons and Dragons, or Settlers of Catan? I've heard some people say it's Settlers of Catan, but Catan just sounds more right to me. Again, which of these games were they playing at Ben's dream bachelor party? Is it Axis and Allies, Cones of Dunshire, Dungeons and Dragons, or Settlers of Catan? All right, you said Axis and Allies, and the correct answer was Settlers of Catan. That was Ben's favorite board game. He said that's all he needed to do for his bachelor party. So, question number 9. A child-sized drink from Paunchburger, roughly the size of a liquefied 2-year-old child, is how many ounces? Again, a child-sized drink from Paunchburger, roughly the size of a liquefied 2-year-old child, is how many ounces? Your time starts now. Is it 512, 246, 128, or 640 ounces? That's a tough one. I'm like gonna do the math to see how many pounds that is, because I don't think the math's right there. 32 pounds. I don't know, maybe a 2-year-old does weigh only 32 pounds. All right, well, you said 128, and the correct answer here is 512. So they said the 512 ounce is the child size because it's roughly the size of a liquefied 2-year-old child. So that's question number 9. Here's question 10. In the episode Canvassing, Leslie Knope filibusters the meeting called to vote on the proposed new park by reading from what children's fantasy book? Again, in the episode Canvassing, Leslie Knope filibusters the meeting called to vote on the proposed new park by reading from what children's fantasy book? Time starts now. Is she reading from the Phantom Tollbooth, Goosebumps, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, or Twilight? Again, what children's book is Leslie reading from? Is it Phantom Tollbooth, Goosebumps, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, or Twilight? All right, you said the Phantom Tollbooth, and you are 100% correct on that. That is indeed the book she was reading. All right, we're just going to go to question 15 so you get half the questions. Leslie Knope and her former close friend, Lindsay Carlisle Shea, find themselves at odds over a fence built in what park? Built at the border of Pawnee and Eagleton. Again, Leslie Knope and her former close friend, Lindsay Carlisle Shea, find themselves at odds over a fence built in what park? Built at the border of Pawnee and Eagleton. Time starts now. Is that Wamapoke Stone Park, Tucker Park, Ramsey Park, or Lafayette Park? Again, this is the park that Lindsay Carlisle Shea and Leslie Knope are at odds over, because there's that huge fence. Is it Wamapoke Stone Park, Tucker Park, Ramsey Park, or Lafayette Park? All right, you said Tucker Park. So the correct answer here was Lafayette Park. I don't remember that at all. I thought it was Ramsey Park, but that's question 11. Question number 12. In the final episode, One Last Ride, what is the title of the film Tom made for himself about all of his failures? Again, this is the final episode, One Last Ride. There is a film that Tom made for himself about all of his failures. What's it called? Time starts now. Is it Treat Yourself, Tommy Knocker, Failure, An American Success Story, or Swaggerless? All of these sound like they could be correct, but this is the title of the film Tom made for himself about all his failures. Is it Treat Yourself, Tommy Knocker, Failure, An American Success Story, or Swaggerless? All right. So you said Failure, An American Success Story. That's what I would have guessed too. But the answer is Swaggerless. So there you go. That's another tough one, I think. Question number 13. What university does Lil Sebastian have an honorary degree from? Again, we're looking for the name of the university where Lil Sebastian has an honorary degree from. Time starts now. Is that University of Notre Dame, Indiana University, Purdue, or Harvard? And one of these colleges is where Lil Sebastian has an honorary degree from. Is it University of Notre Dame, Indiana University, Purdue, or Harvard? It should be all four. All right, you said Indiana University, but the right answer here is actually Notre Dame, which surprises me because I would think it would be Indiana or Purdue. But there you go. Question number 14. According to Ron, what person is the perfect 10 on his 10-point scale of human beauty? Again, according to Ron, one person is the perfect 10 on his 10-point scale of human beauty. Who is that? Time starts now. Is it Danica Patrick, Steffi Graf, Maria Sharapova, or Mia Hamm? What do you think? I like vaguely remember him mentioning this. This is on Ron's scale of human beauty. Who is a perfect 10 on the 10-point scale? Alrighty. You said Steffi Graf, and you are 100% correct on that. Well done. All right, I've got to do one more question, so we're at least halfway through, and then I'll let you get back to your night. So, during their Model UN meeting, what country did Ben represent? Again, during the Model UN meeting, what country did Ben represent? Time starts now. Is it Finland, Denmark, Peru, or South Africa? Again, we're looking for the country that Ben represented at that Model UN meeting. What do you think it was? Finland, Denmark, Peru, or South Africa? All right, you said South Africa, but the correct answer is Peru. That's a tough one. I mean, some of these are hard questions, but those are your final points, Brianna. 741 points. Nothing to sneeze at for sure. So, thank you so much for playing trivia with me tonight. I hope that this was kind of fun, because, I mean, I always like hosting trivia, but, you know, I want to make sure that you still have a good time, even if there aren't a lot of other folks playing. So, again, sorry there's not a whole lot happening there, but thanks to Fountaindale Public Library for hosting, and thank you, Brianna, for joining me for Parks and Rec Trivia. I hope more people join next time as well, but thank you at least for joining. You should win a prize for next time automatically. But yeah, have a wonderful night and enjoy the nice weather.